Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Spruce Sports Central. Today, we're going to be going over what's next for the Yankees and how I would approach the rest of the offseason after Juan Soto signed with the Mets. So, as I'm sure you guys heard, Juan Soto signed with the Mets on a 15-year, $765 million contract. And obviously, that is a huge loss for the Yankees. So, as a Yankees fan, here's what I think the Yankees should do through the rest of the offseason to help replace Juan Soto. The Yankees, they're prepared to give Soto 16 years, $760 million. But now, because they didn't get him, they need to spend a good chunk of that money elsewhere to help the team. Because there's a lot of holes in this team, not just right field. The first need for the Yankees is first base. Last year, the Yankees' first basemen were terrible. They hit just 216, had 16 homers, and did not hit a single home run past July 31st. Now, there's definitely some available first basemen, but I'm not a huge fan of most of the options. Carlos Santana, Christian Walker, and Cody Bellinger are probably the three most realistic options for the Yankees. But Carlos Santana is older at 38. He'll be 39 in April. But he's good defensively and a switch hitter, which could be good for the Yankees, but there's definitely some concerns there. Christian Walker is a player I like for the Yankees. He's also a little bit older, but he's just 34. He's great defensively, and he's a good hitter as well, as he has good power with at least 25 homers and 85 RBIs in each of the last 3 seasons. Plus, he's a career 250 hitter. Then Cody Bellinger has been linked to the Yankees for a while in trade rumors, but I'm just not sure how good he'd be with the Yankees. If the Yankees were to trade for Bellinger, he'd give them positional flexibility, being able to play the outfield or first base. But Bellinger, he had a great year in 2023, hitting over 300 with 26 homers. But this past year, he was nowhere near as good, hitting 266 with 18 homers. Plus, Bellinger, he's got 2 years left on his contract. He's owed $25 million a year and has a player option. I definitely think he can be good for the Yankees, and he's also a left-handed bat, something the Yankees desperately need. But I've got my concerns about Bellinger and if he'd be good with the Yankees, and for that reason, I'd avoid him. Now, Pete Alonso is also available, as he's a free agent, but I just don't think he's as realistic of an option for the Yankees at first base. I don't think they'd want to pay him, and if I'm the Yankees, I would sign Christian Walker. He's great defensively, a good bat, and I would go after Christian Walker as my first baseman. The outfield is another position of need after Soto left for the Mets. So the Yankees, obviously they've got one outfield position set with Aaron Judge, but they could also look to move Judge back to his natural right field position, as opposed to playing him in center field. But the Yankees have 3 outfielders currently on their roster, as they've got Judge, Trent Grisham, and Jason Dominguez. Now, I definitely think the Yankees need to give Jason Dominguez a chance in either left field or center field. He isn't the greatest defender, but he has insane potential, and the Yankees have to give him a full-time chance at one of the outfield spots. But the Yankees, they're still going to need another outfielder. And they got some options. There's some pretty good free agents out there. The first, Anthony Santander. He's coming off a great year with the Orioles, where he hit 235 to go along with a career-high 44 homers and also a career-high 102 runs batted in. Santander is also a switch hitter, which could be good playing in a hitter-friendly park at Yankee Stadium. Plus, they desperately need lefties. And I think he could be a good fit for the Yankees. But a player I like more than Santander, Teoscar Hernandez. I really like him for the Yankees. I think he'd be a good fit. He hit 272 last year with a career-high 33 homers and 99 RBIs. Plus, he has hit at least 25 homers in each of the last 5 seasons. And I really like Teoscar Hernandez as a replacement for Soto, because obviously he's not Juan Soto, but I think he is easily the next best available outfielder. And if I'm the Yankees, I would definitely try to go sign Teoscar Hernandez. A trade for Cody Bellinger is still a possibility, and they could have him play the outfield instead of first base. But I would go with Teoscar Hernandez for the Yankees, and then their outfield 3 would be Jason Dominguez, Aaron Judge, and Teoscar Hernandez, with Trent Grisham as their 4th outfielder. Starting pitching is another area where the Yankees can improve. The Yankees don't necessarily need another pitcher, but they need better pitchers. Because you look at their rotation, Garrett Cole, he's great, although he is getting older and wasn't the same pitcher he was before his elbow injury last season. Carlos Rodon is good sometimes, but other times he's not great. Clark Schmidt is solid. Luis Gil can be really good if he can cut down on the walks. And Nestor Cortez and Marcus Stroman are both, they're solid. Now, there are some elite pitchers available, and I think the Yankees should definitely try to go get one of them. The first is Roki Sasaki from Japan. He is just 23 years old, he has elite stuff, and dominated Japan for the last few years. As this past year in Japan, he had just a 2.35 ERA while striking out 10.5 batters per 9 innings. Now, it does get weird for Sasaki because he isn't a free agent and instead can sign with the team and will be under 6 years of team control before he becomes a free agent. Similar to what happened with Ohtani, how he was with the Angels for 6 years before he became a free agent and signed with the Dodgers. But I think Sasaki would be a great player for the Yankees, but I just don't think he is a super realistic option. But a more likely option for the Yankees is Max Fried or Corbin Burnes. Max Fried, a 30-year-old left-handed pitcher, and he's been great. A career 3.07 ERA, doesn't give up much hard contact, and gets a lot of ground balls. And that works well for the Yankees, considering Yankee Stadium is a pretty hitter-friendly park. For Corbin Burnes, he is also 30 years old. He's very durable, as he's led the AL or NL, depending on what team he's played for, as he's led the league or been top 5 in innings pitched each of the last 3 seasons. Plus, he's a great strikeout pitcher with 3 seasons of at least 200 strikeouts. Now, when you compare Corbin Burnes to Max Fried, he is a little bit better at getting strikeouts, swings, and misses, but both players are great players and would be great fits for the Yankees. And as a Yankees fan, I really don't have a preference. I just think they really need to go get one of them. Another need for the Yankees is infield, second base or third base. It's interesting here because the Yankees, they have some players who can fill the hole at second base because they can move Jazz Chisholm back to second base, or they can leave him at third base and they could let Oswaldo Cabrera and prospect Caleb Durbin compete for the starting second baseman. But if the Yankees do opt to move Jazz Chisholm back to second base, then they'll be looking for a third baseman, and they could also play Oswaldo Cabrera there, or they could look elsewhere, like a potential trade for Nolan Arenado, or a signing of Alex Bregman. But if I'm the Yankees, I would keep Jazz Chisholm at third. I know that's not his natural position, but he's such a good athlete. I think he can learn the position, and now that he's got a full offseason to do it, I think he could be a pretty good third baseman, and I would let either Durbin or Oswaldo Cabrera battle for second base. The final position of need for the Yankees is the bullpen. The Yankees' bullpen was great in the playoffs this past year, but key pieces like Clay Holmes, Tommy Kahnle, and Tim Hill are all free agents. And I would definitely expect the Yankees to bring back Tim Hill and maybe Tommy Kahnle, but the Yankees do need to find a couple of bullpen arms, although I wouldn't really expect them to make a big free agent signing there. But the Yankees wind up with how I would fill the needs after Soto signs with the Mets. I think their catcher, it's going to be Austin Wells. I mean, that's not really a surprise. My first baseman, Christian Walker, after signing him. The second baseman, I've got either Oswaldo Cabrera or Caleb Durbin. Third base is Jazz Chisholm. They still could slide him back to second base, but I think I'd rather stick with him at third and give either Cabrera or Durbin a chance at second. The shortstop, Anthony Volpe, he hasn't been great in his young career. He had a pretty good postseason, though, and maybe he can build on that. My left fielder, I'd sign Teoscar Hernandez. The center fielder, you give it to Jason Dominguez, and the right field, you'd have Judge. Giancarlo Stanton as the DH, and then you look to the rotation. Your ace is still Garrett Cole, and then either Max Fried or Corbin Burnes. Carlos Rodon is your third starter. Clark Schmidt as your fourth starter, and then your fifth starter is Luis Gil. But I do think it's possible for the Yankees to still be contending for a World Series in the near future, but they're going to need to be very aggressive spending the money they were going to give to Soto elsewhere, and it's going to be difficult for the Yankees to be as good as they were with Soto, because obviously losing Soto is a huge loss to any team, but I do think it is possible for the Yankees to still be a contender if they make a lot of these moves that I think they should make. But that is how I would approach the rest of the offseason for the Yankees now that Juan Soto has officially signed with the Mets. That still pains me to say. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback. But that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, turn notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.